All right. Okay, one second. We are live. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining the Add1Challenge Kickoff Hangout. This is the first time we ever done this, and this is exciting. So today's day 0 of the Add1Challenge, and tomorrow we are starting a new one, which is going to be Add1Challenge number 11. Um, my name is Brian Kwong, and yeah, I started this thing called the Add1Challenge, and why don't we quickly introduce ourselves? Who's in the Hangout? Tell me what your name is, what Add1Challenge you're in, because we have some ongoing Add1Challenges right now, and what language you're learning. If your Add1Challenge is already over, you can just say what language you learned in your Add1Challenge. Okay? Who wants to go first?
Okay. I'll go first.
All right.
Hey, I'm Zoe, and I am doing Add1Challenge 11. I'm going to be learning French.
All right. Where are you? Where are you from? Where are you right now?
Right now, I'm in Italy.
Italy, learning French. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. All right.
I guess I'll go next. My name is Ashley, and I am in Add1Challenge 10, and I am learning Hindi. And I'm living in the U.S.
The U.S. Cool. All right.
Alright, I guess I'll introduce myself. Bienvenue Zoe, welcome to the group. I'm Ocean, or Hannah, and I'm in the Add1Challenge 10. I'm learning Finnish, and I'm from Canada. I'm living in the US now.
Finnish. Cool. If you're not speaking, can you mute your mic, please? And then when you speak, then you can unmute yourself, so that we don't have all these noises going around. Lisa, are you okay? You're pointing to the floor.
Sorry, I'm trying to get set up. I'm fine. That's the ceiling.
Oh, that's the ceiling.
Yeah, I'm in a cabin in the mountains. I'm trying to get set up. But yeah, I'm Lisa. I'm here.
Can you point? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Hang on just a second. There we go. Hi,
hey.
and I'm in the U.S. and I'm learning Spanish. And this is I'm just starting the challenge. This is day 0.
Day 0, Add1Challenge number 11, in the mountain cabin. Awesome. And still joining our channel, joining our hangout with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next? John?
Yo, hello.
I will be next.
Lisa, can you mute yourself?
I'm trying. Hold on.
It's on the screen. Yeah. Who's going next? All right, John. John, just go.
Hey, how's it going? Just introduce myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is John Karate from New York, and I'm learning Korean.
All right. You're in that Add1Challenge number 11.
Awesome. Great. Yep, this is it. I'm ready.
Cool. Awesome. All right.
How about me?
Okay, Jim.
Hi there. My name's Jim. I'm in the number 11 challenge. I'm from the U.S., and I'm trying to learn Slovakian.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
All right, cool. All right. What else we got here? Can you mute yourself?
I could start if.
Cool. Go for it.
Okay. My name's Clarissa. I'm from the U.S. originally, but I'm in London right now, and I actually live in Paris. And I'm just starting tomorrow, and I'm learning Serbian.
Serbian. Awesome. Cool.
And now I'm trying to read.
You trying to? All right. We have 2 more left, Victoria and Annabelle. Hey. We can't hear you. We can't hear you for some reason. Your mic? unmute yourself. Hello? We can't see you, we can't hear you. Can anybody hear her? Or is this me? We all shake our head. Okay, maybe you can type for now. And we'll read it out. Or you can just type it in and we'll introduce you. Vic, why don't you introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, everyone can hear me?
Yep.
I'm Victoria. I'm originally from Latvia, now living in Thailand. I'm the Add1 manager that writes you all the messages on Facebook. And challenge 9, studying Spanish.
Cool.
And I'm currently continuing with that.
All right. Cool. Thank you, Vic. So Annabella is living in London, learning Korean. Awesome. All right. Welcome, everyone. And thank you for joining us. Are you guys excited? Are you guys fired up for about the A1 Challenge starting tomorrow? Yay. Oh, yeah. I like the hat. Everyone's going like this. Everyone has different kind of body posture kind of thing like that. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So now in the Add1 Challenge number 11 that we're starting tomorrow. Let's see. Let me click this. Okay. In Add1 Challenge number 11, we have 71 language learners around the world learning 23 different languages in the Add1 Challenge number 11. And one out of these 71 language learners will win a free round-trip ticket to your target language country. Is that pretty cool? Yeah? All right, all right. So now, what is our goal in the Add1 Challenge in 90 days? Can anyone share? What is your goal?
To overcome my inhibitions of speaking Slovakian.
All right, cool. Anything else?
To be able to converse with my boyfriend's parents.
Oh, nice. Good. All right. Anybody else?
Can I go?
Sure, John.
My goal is to kind of talk to Koreans in Korean and not about learning Korean, but more about like using it to talk. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah.
I just want to get more comfortable speaking in general. I hesitate so much, and I have so much in my head, but I can't do that on my face. So that's what I want to get comfortable doing. So that's what I'm focusing on.
Okay, got it. Cool. Anyone else?
And for me, my goal during my challenge, I've kind of met some things, had some breakthroughs, but actually being more comfortable to communicate naturally and smoothly without the umming and pause filler that is so annoying things. They'd rather that I try it. If I can think and converse naturally instead of freaking out and overthinking, that's my goal.
Got it. Okay, cool.
I have a question.
Why don't we save the questions at the end? Yeah. So.
Well, I was just thinking, if I change my language to Martian, could I get a ticket to Mars?
No. The maximum value of the ticket is only $1,000.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's going to cost a little bit more than $1,000. You can cover the rest if you like.
Oh, okay, sure.
All right. So more specifically, we need to our goal in the 90 days is to be able to hold a 15-minute conversation on video. And everything that you guys are saying here it falls under that. But for us to say that, oh yeah, we completed the Add1 Challenge, is that we have a 15-minute conversation on video, because just so that we can measure it, so we can see for ourselves, oh yeah, we completed. So that's the end. So that's the goal. Now, what is the secret of making that happen? The secret of making that happen in the next 90 days is to learning how to create a fun, sustainable, and consistent routine so that language learning becomes part of your life. So now some of you are in the Add1Challenge right now, and there's some of you are just starting. So why don't we just brainstorm a little? What are some of the ways that we can learn how to create a fun, sustainable, and consistent routine into our life?
I discovered that what works best for me is to just kind of keep my language learning options open throughout the day instead of just delegating a specific block of time as you do in school. You study this subject this time in school and then save 15, 30 minutes for it when you get home for homework, but to kind of lightly work on it throughout the day. And in order to overcome my fear of speaking, sometimes it's not that I just speak with somebody. I will take my camera and maybe dialogue describing my room and then post that to YouTube and ask one of my friends to correct it. It's less stressful than looking at somebody and trying to speak, and you can say it as many times as you like until you feel comfortable.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So one way you just said is just using a video, making video and just documenting yourself instead of well, just a one step closer to speaking with someone live. So we're taking one step at a time toward that 90-day goal. Perfect. That was my mom walking around, by the way. Don't mind her. All right. Anyone else?
I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, go on, John.
I think something you could do, and I've heard this actually in an interview that you had with, I forget his name, I think Anthony Lauder, but basically figuring out ways that you wouldn't, here, put it like this, doing things in a language that if you weren't using it, you wouldn't be able to do. So for a quick example, I wanted to learn like very basic sign language in Korean, and I couldn't find any good YouTube videos on it, so then I looked up how to type in sign language in Korean, and then I just copy-pasted that, and then I found like 1,000 videos. So it's like, I think that's a fun way to do it, is because you go, wow, if I didn't know this in the language I'm learning, then I would never have been able to, find this vast amount of information. That's one way I like to do it.
Okay. Can you repeat that again? I actually don't really get it, to be honest.
Okay. So I think something that you can...
Give me an example. Instead of, because you're talking about speaking, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I wanted to learn how to say hello in Korean.
Yes.
Sign language, in Korean Sign Language. And I was looking up Korean Sign Language on YouTube, and I couldn't find any videos about it.
Yeah.
So then I translated Korean Sign Language into Korean, and then I used that in the YouTube search. So if I had, now I know that word for Korean Sign Language. If I hadn't used the language, I wouldn't have found all these videos on it.
I see. So from what I hear is that you're finding like creative ways to like, sometimes we kind of stuck. We just have one way to think of learning how to find something, but there are actually different ways.
Yeah, and I think using the language is a really cool way to make sure you go, oh wow, if I didn't use it, then I wouldn't have been able to do it, and it just like makes you a little like happier that someone else couldn't do this, for example, because they don't have the depth of it, or I don't know, something like that.
I see. Okay, so if you can't find something, use the language.
Yeah, like if I can't find a good video on it, and then I just translate it into the language, and that makes you think, oh, why didn't I do this from the start? It's cool. I don't know. It's
cool.
Something I'm working with. Yeah.
Cool, John. Thanks for sharing that. So what else? How can we make this fun? So these are great. Like these are great ideas to make it fun and sustainable. Okay, Ash?
What I've been doing is, and maybe this only applies if you have a creative interest like writing or painting, finding a way to make the language a part of that, make it a project related to that. So like I'm writing a children's book in Hindi. I'm an illustrator, so while speaking is my focus, having that creative project gets me excited about the language, so that I use it as a reward. Like, it sounds like, oh, I'm using more work as a reward, but it's not, because I'm excited about that creative project. So I do my studying, and then that studying helps me with my creative project that I'm really excited about. So finding a way to integrate it into like a writing project or a movie project or an art project has helped me a lot. And so that's been what helps me keep it fun. So having that to look forward to.
Awesome, awesome. So we would like to. We actually post. Actually, you only made one post, Ash, about your art, and then it looks awesome. I know you translated.
Thanks.
I know you
I wanted to keep it language related, so I wanted to keep people updated on it at least a little bit. So it's going well. The story's almost finished, like almost completed completely. And then once that's done, I can start. I'm going to post up images with text attached so that people can see the images with the text. So I'm
Got it. We're looking forward to seeing that. Awesome. Cool. So these are merging your passion, what you like to do, and with language learning, so that it's play. Awesome. Cool.
I've been finding where I work, I try to take the technology and translate the individual components and everything into the target language. Like, I've done that with Spanish and some German. So now I'm going to try and do it all over with Slovakian, and occasionally I slip out some words to my colleagues in a different language, and they look at me very strange, and we talk about it. So I get other people involved in languages also.
Cool. Getting people involved. Well, yeah, getting people involved. Actually, getting people is a very good idea. So, and you're saying you're translating your surrounding environment into your target language.
Correct.
Awesome. All right, anybody else?
What occurred to me just quickly is that that if you can find them, if they are available to you, finding children that are native speakers of the language you're learning, talking to them is a lot of fun because they don't judge you for not knowing it, and your level is especially at the very beginning, will be very similar to their level. So you can talk to them about all kinds of things, and the pressure's a little bit off, and then you also will end up talking about silly things. So maybe it will give it more fun. So sometimes I've talked to kids in Hindi at Temple, and it's very, very, like, they're very adorable, and it makes it a lot less pressure.
Yeah. Cool. Find kids. Find like, you learn Korean, find Korean kids running around and speak. Clarissa, you want to say something? Unmute. Yeah, there you go. Unmute. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had clicked it too many times.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. I think you can harness the power of guilty pleasures. For example, not that I'm one of these people, but if you happen to like really terrible television, watch it in your target language, and you can rationalize it away. You say, "Oh, I'm actually doing something really good for myself, because I'm learning the language." And yeah, I would obviously never watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians in English, but if I watch it in Serbian, I don't think it's available in Serbian. But then you're actually doing something good for yourself. And you can fulfill your guilty pleasure at the same time. So the power of the guilty pleasure, I would say.
Power of the guilty pleasure. I see. Cool. I think that's a great idea. At the same time, yeah. Okay. So that's great. So this is the next thing I want to go through is that in the next 90 days, we come up with really great ideas, right? In the next 90 days, there's one thing that I can guarantee that will happen. One thing that I guarantee will happen is that in some point in the next 90 days, you're not going to feel like learning.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a surprise for you?
Yeah.
So at some point in the next 90 days, something will come up, or you may miss a day. Okay. And I just want to say that it's very important. It's important for us to stick to our routine, right? It's very important to stick to our routine, but it's equally as important to learn how to dust ourselves off and go back to our routine again. That's almost more like that's like the other half, because you know when we're motivated, it's easy. We just go in, learn. But the other half is to when things come like in the way, we gotta learn how to dust ourselves off. Okay, so I want to get ideas of, okay, when we're tired, when we're not motivated, what are some ideas that we can dust ourselves off and get back into the game?
Okay, I've got a bit of an idea of something that I've done before, and I have booked a lesson with a new teacher who I've never spoken with before, maybe just for 30 minutes. And when I start with that person, they have no knowledge of my ability. And we just start talking, it immediately reminds me of how far I've come from the beginning to even be able to speak anything.
Oh, nice. I hope you guys are taking notes. This is great. All right. So booking a session with italki teacher or language learners, it's a great way to get yourself motivated. Especially, so now she put a twist that it's someone that meet with someone that you never talked to, so that you just start with, hi, how are you? My name is. Anybody can do that. I mean, not anybody can do that, but you know, you exactly remind you of how far you've come, and it kind of gets you more excited, motivated again. So this is a great trick. And another thing that Jim actually pointed out earlier, that getting other people involved. And getting other people involved is a great way to get ourselves motivated. Because when we're by ourselves, we just kind of like, all right, I guess I'll go on Facebook or watch TV or something like that. But we get our people involved, it's easier for us to actually get into action. That's one of the reasons why the Add1Challenge is so powerful, because we have a community of people doing the same thing together. All right, great. So any other ideas of how? Yeah, go on, Jim.
Let me just point one thing. I have my registration with a language site called Speaky. Maybe you've heard of this.
Go Speaky?
Go Speaky, yeah. And it's amazing how many people actually respond to you on that website. And so part of my idea right now for the challenge is, obviously I speak English and I need to speak Slovak, so I've been finding all these people who are Slovakian that want to speak English. So we're trying to plan a group hangout maybe twice a week.
Awesome.
So we share English, I'll help them, and they'll help me back and forth. So it'll be a mix of people, and you'll hear different accents and sounds differently than only talking with one teacher.
Great. All right. Korean Google Hangout. So what you said is go to these sites that you can find your native speaker, and then create maybe a Google Hangout. All right. Anything else that you can, when you're not motivated that day, you're tired? Just imagine. I'm sure people who are in the Add1Challenge right now have experienced this. You're tired. You're not. You don't feel like. What are some ways that you can get yourself back on the track?
What I found is, because I went through a stint recently where I was sick and I was tired and I didn't want to do my work, and so what helped was having a lot of low mental energy requirement activities.
Very good.
So that you can still do your studying, but that it doesn't require a lot of it doesn't require as much effort as doing some other things. Like, I found that writing and doing writing was much less effort than doing an italki lesson. An italki lesson takes a lot out of me mentally. So I pushed my language lessons back, and I did more writing, and I still got my study time in, but I didn't feel like I was overexerting myself or I was at risk of burnout. So having like flashcards that you can whip through, or writing that you can do, or shows that you can watch, or radio programs you can listen to, where you feel like you're still getting exposure, but you're not overdoing it.
Great. Awesome. Now what you're saying is about balancing your playtime and study time, where we talk about in the Add1Challenge a lot. So there are days that you're gonna be tired or you're sick. You know, you can't predict when you're gonna get sick, right? So those days do low. Not low. I mean, it's just easy days. Like, you know, for me, when I was learning Japanese, I watch anime. or I go on Duolingo. That's yeah, very. I don't think much on Duolingo. It just yeah, that's those are on my play days. So
another idea
yeah.
is I will go out and look for comics that are in the target language.
Mm.
They're simple. They have little entertainment with the cartoon drawings, etc. And they
Right.
don't use large sentences, but you pick out the words and you just relax with them a bit.
Exactly. Reading. So reading your target language in a comic form. Great. Any other ideas? This is great.
Hello? Can you hear me? Something I like to do is, if I'm not actively learning like the language itself, I like to watch a bunch of the polyglot gathering videos or the polyglot conference videos or stuff that has to do with language learning, because that I could do much better in my language, that I don't have to think about English. And it's really cool to just hear people talk about language. So when I get really tired of like, man, I studied a lot of Korean today, I'm so bored, and I put on a YouTube video, I'll put it on these talks, and it's really cool because you could just lay down and listen or not care, but you'll still catch a lot of really cool information. So that's one thing I do, is just like look for YouTube videos about language learning, and then another thing I do is like take like an idea day, because I always feel that I have so many ideas to learn. Like, oh, I could do a tongue twister, I could do this. So like usually on Sundays, I'll just take that whole day to just go through like ideas that I can work on throughout the week. This way I'm not like, oh, I need a tongue twister, then I'll look up the tongue twister. I won't be able to say it. I'll get bored of it. I'll think of all these ideas, and then I'll select which ones I think can be the most practical. And then from there, the last thing I like to do is just get stuff set up. So if I know that I have to do 10 minutes of reading tomorrow because that'll help me out, I will get the reading material set up today, and that'll be my work for today's language learning. I got it set up, so I don't have to waste any energy in the morning the next day looking for stuff, looking for like, you know, the text that goes along with it, because that takes a lot of energy in itself, just like finding the right information. Some of the things I do.
Great. So now you just gave me an idea. So we should create like fun ways and idea document or something in the A1Challenge. So we just kind of go at it, and just whenever we have a fun idea, just write it in, and so people can. So we're basically brainstorming together how we can learn the language in a fun way. Cool, guys? Yes? Good. Awesome. Cool. All right. So, awesome. And the first thing that so when you're in low energy, or so I just want to cover one more thing about this, is that when we miss a day, when we put in an A in our tracking sheet, the first thing that a lot of people, not everybody, a lot of people will beat ourselves up. Like, oh no, I missed the day. Oh man, how did I do that? Like, you know, it's, you know, I shouldn't have missed the day. You know, if I'd done it earlier, I could have get it done. Beating ourselves up. So the most important thing to dust ourselves off, to get ourselves back into routine, is to let go of beating ourselves up. That's the first thing, because when we beat ourselves up, it just doesn't feel good. When you don't feel good, you don't want to learn. So practice. It's all practice. Letting go of beating yourself up. Everything's okay. Just go back to it tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. We just take it one day at a time. All right? Cool. And I think Anthony Lauder said something really cool. Is his quote that I shared all the time is, he said, do whatever it takes in this hour for you to want to learn another hour tomorrow. Let me say it again. Do whatever it takes in this hour for you to want to learn another hour tomorrow. And as long as you stay in the game and get yourself back up in the game, if you fell off, as long as you keep doing that, you get result beyond your expectation in 90 days. All right? Cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time people get down on themselves. I know I do, because we assume that I'm the only one making this mistake. I'm the only one who ever makes this mistake. Everybody else is a better language learner than I am. What you have to remember is that we're all, everybody, what I try to tell myself, not even just with language learning, but with other times I make mistakes, I say, everybody does this.
Yes.
Sometimes everybody will do this. And it's just a pure humanity thing. We're all going to do it. So that means we can all come back from it too. So that's what I try to remember.
Great. That's why we're sharing this, because everybody in here experienced this before. We're all in the same boat together. And now, Ashley, thank you so much for sharing. It reminds me, one of the great things about that one challenge is that when we're struggling or we have any victories, we can share in the Facebook group. Now, let me give you an example. Maggie, she was sharing about, in the last Add1Challenge, no, in the Add1Challenge 8, I remember. Is that correct, Maggie? Maggie was sharing how she was having difficulties or anxiety about going to her classes. And she was sharing her struggle in the Facebook group. And then different people in the group shared their thoughts and how advice and things like that. And she got herself back up. And she shared, and then we can see her progress throughout her challenge. And at the end of the challenge, she got so much, and she won the Add1Challenge for the last Add1Challenge. Well, she won the last, so basically she won the grand prize of the Add1Challenge. So one thing that you can do to get yourself back up in the game is to share your struggle and your victory in the Add1Challenge Facebook group, so we can all support and motivate each other. All right? Cool. So that's it. So why don't we go on Q&A, and if you have any questions or anything that we can go over, then we can answer those questions for you. Let's see. I'm just going to take a look at the Facebook group. Whoa, okay. Anybody got any questions? No questions? No questions? So we all ready to go? So, all right, so that's it.
Sorry, I did have one question.
All right.
Now that you've given me my last chance, I'm like, oh, so how are people thinking of kind of structuring their time? How much are you devoting to this every day, generally speaking, every day? That would be my question, and I'm looking for whatever suggestions anyone has.
How do you structure your time? Claire, so what's your weekly goal? What's your weekly goal?
I said I was going to start off so that I didn't get overzealous in the beginning, which is something I tend to do. I was going to start slow with 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
Perfect.
Assuming that I would probably overshoot anyway, but just trying to keep it small.
Perfect.
And my goal was to do some grammar every day, because there's a lot of grammar you have to learn in Serbian. And to spend a certain amount of time learning vocabulary, and you have to do some reading maybe not every day, but you have to read as well. You need to speak. For God's sake, you need to speak. And I'm just not sure. I don't know. I'm just not sure. Do you guys go into it saying, okay, like this is my plan. I'm going to devote 10 minutes to this, 10 minutes to this, 15 minutes to that, etc. Or do you just kind of go with the flow and kind of do what you feel like? I'm just wondering what everyone does.
Got it. Cool. Great question. Great question. How do you structure the time that you're saying you're going to study? Because there are all these things that we need to do, right? You just named like 5 things. I'm going to do all that in 30 minutes.
I generally start with like I was saying before, the lowest energy activity first and move up, because if you can bang out the easiest activities first, it feels really satisfying. It keeps you motivated. So I always start with my Anki deck first. Then I go to active listening. Then after that I go to, sometimes depending if I have a lesson, I do a speaking lesson in the morning. Then I get into things like grammar and things that are really difficult for me, that take a lot of energy. But by that time, I've already accomplished like 30 minutes, so I'm well on my way to finishing my hour.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, John?
Yep. What I'd like to do is, I said this before, is just prepare the stuff as close as possibly prepared they could be. So I have, what I've been doing is every morning I've been stretching and then reading a news article. But I have like my cup of water, my banana, like the news article, the audio clip all set up, so the moment I wake up, I just drink the cup of water, the banana that I need, and I could just click start. And this way, I don't have to, again, search the internet, find the good source, and take too much time looking for what I want to study, opposed to just studying. And then, so this week what I've been doing is that, and marking how well I think it helps me out. So after I did like a reading it slow, reading it fast, all this thing, I said I got a good amount of, I felt good after this kind of was whack. And so the next day when I do the same thing, I will take out the part that I didn't enjoy. This way I'm not doing the same thing over and over again in a boring way, and I'm just seeing what makes it fun for me and what I like about it and what I take from it. Yeah.
Great, great. So what Ashton and John said were really great. I think it goes back to answer your question, it goes back to doing whatever it takes for you to want to do in an hour tomorrow. You know, because we can spend days just on grammar. We can spend days just on vocabularies. You know, but it just won't be so fun, and you probably won't want to do it in an hour tomorrow, right? So just do the low-hanging fruit first, and then eventually come back to it, and then just and do whatever it takes. Basically, do whatever it takes. For us, our goal is to do a 15-minute conversation. So just start small. I think sometimes we over-plan and think too much. Oh, we're going to do this like that, you know. But just start small. Like learn how to say. I think you can say stuff already, right? So you're not starting from zero. So you just build off from that and do that. Cool? That's a great question, by the way.
Also, what's worked for me is also having more to do in a day than you can actually fit into that time period. So you have a lot of different activities, but to do them all would be way too much. You burn out really fast. So then some days you substitute one activity for where you would have done an Anki deck instead of writing, or you do this instead of doing that. So not only does that keep variety in the study, but it also means you'll never get to the end of your study period and have 10 minutes where you've already done everything that you could possibly do. So if you find that, sometimes it's happened in the beginning where I've gotten to 50 minutes in, and I still have 10 minutes left, and I need to fill that 10 minutes with something. So you find I have this collection of activities that I can do, that I can substitute and fill in just a little bit more. Or I add a little bit more grammar, another set of drills onto the end of my grammar study just to fill in that time. So
great.
That has worked for me in the past. And some of it is just a trial and error. Like you'll figure it out over time how to do it, and sometimes it'll change a lot over time.
Great. Exactly. We're at a different stage. In the next 90 days, you'll go through different stages. So just see whatever shows up, and then you just go. Because sometimes you find this activity is fun, and then maybe like 2 weeks later you find it really boring. So that's why it's very important to switch it up and have different kind of activities or varieties of different things to do. So just focus on doing whatever it takes for you to want to do it in an hour tomorrow. Yes. Good. Awesome question and feedback. Any other question? So we have a newcomer here. You want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hey, I guess you're talking about me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Khalif Harold, joining in from New York City. Just saying hi to everybody. I'm not a big Facebook guy, so I wasn't on Facebook to get the link.
Yeah.
But fortunately, someone just provided me the link.
Awesome.
To join in, so I just kept trying to get on until I got on, and I made it.
What language are you learning?
I'm going for Spanish.
Cool. Awesome. All right.
Yeah. Any other Spanish speakers wannabes here? Okay, got one.
Yeah, plenty.
Couple.
Cool, man.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. So any other questions? We good? All right.
I only heard the last one, but a couple of them were
I
pretty
have a
good.
question. All right. Can you mute yourself if you're not talking? Cool, John?
Sure.
Yeah. So my thing is that I have a very addictive personality. So in terms of motivation, how do you motivate yourself to not study the language you're learning and do things in your life that you have to do? Like, for example, I'm a student, and when I'm in class, I'll just be studying Korean because it's more fun than my class. But I know that school is allowing me to study Korean because without all these resources, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. So I should dedicate time to school, but it's just boring, and I'd rather study Korean. It's like the opposite of what a lot of people have problems with is I feel like I don't take my priorities in other aspects of life too high. I feel like I should, but I don't know if that's something I should worry about or like kind of just confused on that.
Like, for example,
Okay,
what
so go to a class or study Korean. My goal in life right now is to study Korean, so I will do that instead. But I know I should go to class. Is that a bad way to look at it, or that's my question? Is that bad that I'm doing it, or is it just it is what it is?
Got it. Great question. This is a great question because, you know, we gotta. One thing is that one of the most important thing to have a sustainable routine is that we need to also handle other things that we need to handle in life. Right? We can't just we just gotta learn Korean. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. You know, I don't want to see any friends. I don't want to talk to anybody. We can't do that. We gotta take care of our body. We gotta feel good. You know, we gotta socialize and different things like that. So look at what you need to take care of and hand, because if we can't just do one thing and ignore other things, and eventually that's not sustainable. You know, I assume you're going to class because you need to get credits. And if you don't pass the class, you won't get credits, and that doesn't serve you. So
yeah, exactly.
So we're not talking about this 90 days we're going to go crazy and like that it's not sustainable. So this is a marathon, not a sprint. So handle everything else in life and add the language learning aspect into it. And learn how to do that. Learn how to balance everything. This is a process. This is a practice. That's one of the most important things you need to do in the next 90 days. Learn how to balance what you got to do and learn a language.
Okay.
My advice would be you could have somebody, if you have a friend or a family member who can sort of rein you in a little bit, like call you at some point during the day and say, hey, how's the study going? And say, have you done your Korean? And then you say, yeah, I've done it. And then they'll tell you, so what do you do it now? Like, what do it's time to do something else. It's something, or send you a text or something. But I've had days where I've studied in the morning and then I'm done. But then in the evening, I feel like I got to do more. I got to do something else. And it's late at night and I'm doing more. And my husband will say to me, you did it. And you need to stop and relax. And it's time to watch a video.
Yes.
So have somebody who can help you, remind you that there are other things in life to address so that you don't get caught up in it.
Great. Your husband is to preventing you from burning out. That's great. Cool.
I've also made a schedule for myself because I've got a lot of things that are very important but not urgent that I need to be doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that you kind of have to force yourself to do them because there's no big time pressure bearing down on me, but goddamn it, I have to do all these things kind of regularly every day. And so I've actually gone through and doing it right now, and I'm making my schedule for the week of when I'm going to do this, when I'm going to do my Serbian, when I'm going to do all the other stuff, because otherwise, one will totally take over because I'll become obsessed with that for like 3 days and won't do anything else.
Yeah. Great. So, scheduling. Now, I think, how do we say this? Now, sometimes when we get overwhelmed, it's because we have all these things to do. It's beyond our space that can handle. So we get overwhelmed. We go, and we get stressed out. I think the first thing that you can do is to get a piece of paper out, write down all the things that you need to do on paper. So you can look at it, and it's not infinite, it's finite. Because when we say, when we're overwhelmed, because it looks like there's never ending of things to do, and we kind of like go, get stressed out. But actually, it's a finite number. And the way to see that is to write it down on a piece of paper. Once you have a piece of paper on your thing, it's fine, there's only 10 items or 11 items, then you can schedule these things in your schedule and say, yes, I'm going to get a handle for sure tomorrow. And you got to do it, okay? And then that way, you're creating more space. Now, you know that's going to get handled on Monday. And that's a great way to, handle that. Okay, cool. Any other questions, feedback?
I have one more question.
Cool.
Yeah, how often do you, Cantonese is your native language?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
How often do you get to use it?
Very little. So
very little.
Yeah. Well, I'm at my mom's. I'm in California now. I'm visiting my mom, spending time with my mom. So I speak Cantonese with her, but usually we just like Cantonese and English mix kind of thing. So
interesting.
So yes.
So do you think in English usually?
Yes, I speak and think in English. It became kind of like once you stop. For me, I mean, I was born in Hong Kong, but once you stop learning, using it, English kind of took over. So it feels like to me that English became my native language, and my Cantonese is like I need to like think about it and learn, to speak. But of course, after some practice, it comes back. But it's like any other language. You don't use it, it just kind of get rusty.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So I think, let's see, let me look in the Facebook group, our Facebook group. Is there any questions? Okay, so there's no question. Everybody just saying, we are watching, we can't get in. All right, cool. Thank you so much. Today's day 0. Tomorrow is day 1. And so I'm very excited to see your progress. And I look forward to seeing your result in the next 90 days.
Sorry, wait. It looks like Annabelle has a question.
Okay.
She says at the end of the Add1Challenge, I am worried that my language will deteriorate.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Thank you for catching that. The Add1Challenge, you're worried that you deteriorate your language, you mean? What? What? I don't really understand your question.
I think, and Annabelle, correct me if I've misunderstood, but I think what she means is, you go through this whole 3-month period where you're studying really intensively, and then at the end of those 3 months, you kind of, stop and forget everything or a lot of what you've learned. Is that what you mean, Annabelle?
Do you mean after? You mean after that one challenge?
Yeah, I assume.
Is that what you mean? We are doing a translation in the text and with her finger, with her posture. Got it. Well, one thing, the immediate thing is that you can do another Add1Challenge. That's one thing. Another thing is, that's why I mean, it's up to you if you want to do an Add1Challenge or not. I'm totally cool with that. The thing is, that's why I'm inviting you to think about how you can create a sustainable routine so that you continue afterwards. Okay, that's what I want you to get in the Add1Challenge. If this routine is like brushing your teeth for you after 90 days, then you can just continue brushing your teeth. Hope you continue brushing your teeth, right? So if you continue your routine, your language wouldn't deteriorate. The only time when your language will deteriorate is when you stop, right? So practice creating routine so that it will be sustainable. You got other things handled in life, and it's like brushing teeth. Then your language won't deteriorate. Or you can do it in an Add1Challenge. Cool? All right, John. You can just say it.
Yeah, I was just curious when we're gonna get like our groups or 5-minute, all that stuff. Like I want it. I want to know.
You want it. You want it.
I do. I want to like have my group. I want to
tell my group. Yeah, got it. You want it? Yeah, now. Victoria, why don't you tell them? Victoria, unmute yourself.
Hello,
Victoria?
can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Can you tell what? Yes. When are they going to get their materials and stuff?
So, yeah. So you all will be getting the message about your mastermind groups tomorrow. And we will also send you out the accountability tracking sheet in an email. So you can start filling in your yays already.
Tomorrow.
And tomorrow, yes. The day after tomorrow, we will send the messages about the study groups. And day after that, meaning on Wednesday, we will send out the Glossika materials.
If the Glossika material is covered in your language.
Yes.
Cool. All right. And today we'll send out the burning question package if you have it, if you ordered it. And what the burning question? Do you guys know what the burning question package is?
No.
No. So the burning question. So we've been doing. So every month we'll do a burning question with a polyglot. So then you can ask the polyglot questions directly. And we've been doing this for, I don't know, the past year, okay? So we have all these Google Hangouts, and we have all these questions, and then realize that the questions start coming back over and over and over again. Like, how do you stay motivated? What do you do with vocabulary and stuff like that? So we went over to all the videos that we have, we transcribed it, and we put all the best questions in one package, and we grouped them together in the same category, so you can look at them and pretty much get your answer questions before your question shows up. And maybe you can send a link in the group. Yes, Jim, you want to say something?
Yes. Is it possible to find out the names of the people and the languages? Maybe there's another Slovakian student in here that might want to share time together.
Got it. So if there's somebody learning, I don't think so, to be honest with you. But so that's why we have the study group. If you have a study group, if somebody you know, we'll let you know. If you don't, nobody's learning the same language with you, you know. And another way to find out is that in the accountability tracking sheet, everybody will put their language in there, so everybody can see if you're doing your work that day, and also what your language is, and also what your routine is. So that's another way you can see what other people are, what language other people are learning, and if there's anybody's learning the same language as you. Cool. Any other questions? Whatever questions you have right now, most likely people in the Add1Challenge have too. So if you got a question, just we'll go. Yes. Any other questions?
Oh yeah, I have another question.
All right, John.
I always have a question.
Last one from you.
Are you gonna learn any other languages anytime soon? Do you have any goals in mind?
Not this time. Not this Add1Challenge. The last one I did Romanian. It was I did Romanian for 90 days. It was tough, but I did it because I was traveling, riding on my bike, and it was But anyways, yes. So I'll participate when of course we look and see what works in our lives, and I'll definitely join you guys. That's I created this thing for me and also for everybody, and so eventually I'll definitely join again. The next thing I'll probably do Japanese again, because Japanese is just my language. I love Japanese. It's so beautiful, and so that's what I want to do next. That's what I'm going to do next in the next Add1Challenge. Okay, can you increase the amount of your study target days? Amount of study? You mean the time that you're studying? Yes? Yes. All right, so now this is a great question. Great question. Thank you for asking. So the first 30 days, now it's all about building habits, right? So if you want to build habits, it's always good to build habit slowly, increase at a time once you get it. Because if your first goal is 1 hour and you can't do it at 1 hour, you're kind of demotivating yourself, you know. So what I recommend is to do your 30 days and then see how it goes first. And at the end of the 30 days, we'll give you an option. We'll prompt you. We'll say you can now change your time. You can decrease your time or increase your time at the end of the 30 days. But the first 30 days, just do the minimum that you say you do first. Cool? Great. All right, so I think that's it. Let's call it the day. Thank you everyone for joining again. And I'll see you guys again very soon. And I look forward to seeing your progress. And thank you for participating in that Add1Challenge. And that's it. See you guys. Bye.